So now that it's visibly obvious that I'm losing weight and exercising, people close to me are noticing and they're asking me questions like what I'm doing. And while I could give them tips on meal prep or talk about macros, the truth is I know these folks and none of that is going to matter until they find out their why, because it didn't matter until I found out my why. So today on Body Recomp Diaries, I want to share the story of how my why came to life and why it changed everything for me and hopefully will change everything forever. So welcome to Her Soft Life with Yim. If you're new here, I share my journey through body recomposition, soft life living, and wisdom for thriving at every stage of life. If that sounds like your kind of inspiration, then you need to go ahead and hit the subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. So, my why started about 5 years ago when my mom passed away from cancer. Watching her struggle obviously was the hardest thing that I've ever experienced. And the truth is, though, my mom lived hard. She did not take care of herself. Then 2 years later, I lost my dad. Now, my dad was an athlete. He played in the NBA. He was active and strong way past the age of 65, but he really didn't watch what he ate. So over time, he developed dementia and cancer and faced a lot of health struggles. So losing both of my parents so close together forced me to take a really hard look at myself. At that time, I was my highest weight, 230 pounds. And even though I felt crappy most of the time, I did not feel motivated to change. So looking at people in my family, though, I realized that they look really good on the outside. We age beautifully in appearance, but inside it's a different story. The health struggles are real, and I didn't want that to be my story. But it could easily be my story because of epigenetics. So what is epigenetics? Genetics is your DNA, it's what you're born with. And epigenetics is how your environment, your lifestyle, and experiences switch certain genes on and off. So when you think of it like this, you inherit a piano. Your DNA is the piano. And the epigenetics is which keys get played, how often and how loudly. So what influences epigenetics? Things like lifestyle, diet, exercise, the environment, obviously, pollution, smoking, even secondhand smoke, social experiences, so trauma, chronic stress, caregiver burden, even aging, so just the natural changes in gene expression over time. Now, there are diseases that are linked to epigenetics, and this is what really got me into the subject. So, cancer, neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's, metabolic disorders like type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, autoimmune diseases like lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. So around 47 or 48, I started to feel the dip in estrogen that comes with perimenopause. And it really did hit me like a ton of bricks. I saw it on my body, I felt it in my energy, and I knew that I could not ignore it. But here's the thing. No one had prepared me for it, especially as a Black woman. Menopause, perimenopause, it's not stuff that we talk about. It's treated like it's something you just go through. Meanwhile, I was listening to all these stories of Black women dealing with hot flashes and sickness and decline, and I couldn't help but think to myself, if so much suffering and the untimely deaths in my family, especially the women, were tied to never getting the proper care, like hormone replacement therapy. So now, I've always been on some type of health kick. Keto, paleo, vegan, Weight Watchers, you name it. All those things work, but they only work when you're healthy and your hormones are working as well. So, my why. What was my resolution? It all clicked for me once I did my deep dive on epigenetics and understanding my own genetics. I realized that my desire to thrive far outweighed everything else. I didn't just want to survive, I wanted to thrive. And of course, my children, my husband, my grandchildren are all a part of my why. My legacy matters very deeply to me, but on a more personal level, I don't want to die young. And I also want to be confident when walking in a room. And I know that when someone walks into a room and they are fit and vibrant and glowing, that confidence speaks before they ever say a word. And for years, I wanted that. And now that I'm achieving it, I can tell you that it feels incredible. So, I don't want to leave you guys with some practical tips. If you're on a journey right now, here are 4 things that made all the difference for me, and I believe that they can help you too. So number 1, work with a provider if you can. Get your blood work done. Check on your hormone levels and see if there's anything that you need to supplement, because understanding your baseline can save you so much frustration, and it can actually help you to succeed. Number 2, be scientific. Whichever plan you choose, whether it's paleo, intuitive eating, high protein, do your research. Understand the pros and the cons and what to expect, because all of those approaches may work, but going in blindly usually sets you up for failure. Number 3, do one thing at a time. Don't try to overhaul your whole entire life all at once. Start with one change. Maybe clean up your eating, because diet is 80% of it. Stick with that 6 to 12 weeks and see how your body responds. And if you're feeling good, then add in 30 minutes a day of walking. If that feels good, add in Pilates. Build step by step, because consistency compounds. Don't believe the lie that you just need to do something for 21 days and it becomes a habit, because that's just not true. Last tip, number 4, don't make announcements. Make progress. This one is so important, because when you tell people your plans, especially people who are used to seeing you at a certain weight or in a place of struggle, they don't always put out good energy for you. Sometimes they don't want to see you do better. And my grandmother used to always tell us, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And she was right. Protect your goals. Move quietly. Just show up one day, confident and thriving, and let your results speak for themselves. So, I know I normally do, like what I eat in a day, and I show my workouts. But I wanted to talk about my why, because that's important. So here's my challenge to you. What's your why? Why do you want to change your health, your body, or your life? Please share it in the comments below, because sometimes saying it out loud is really the first step to making it real. And remember, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Don't be ashamed of the mistakes that you made. And also, don't look back on those mistakes either. We're going to keep going forward. And I've said this before, we don't trauma bond on this channel. We talk about our issues, but we are solutions based. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next Body Recomp Diaries. Have a good one. Bye.